Harry Potter, Hogwarts Castle and epic extensions. Part 59. So hello and welcome to Square Ghost, and here we are with part 59, and I think we're slowly but surely getting our way to finishing this whole big build off. Sorry for the monitor and the instructions in the background. As you can see, we've been working on our biggest tower. I think it's the biggest tower, putting our little things around, as you can see. And if you're wondering why I'm showing, we're just about to plate over the top, and then I think we'll build up again. So without any further ado, just seeing where we are, let's get on with that build. So I just thought I'd show you the spire of the bigger turret before we put it on. You can see how we built it up with the parts. Nice roundish piece here. One of those, one before, a rounded part, smaller cylinder shape, or cone really I should say, shouldn't I? Little green cone with one of those pieces on the top. Now, if I just, sorry for fast cam, that's where it's going. You can see it's going to go on there like that. Obviously it's not on yet. I'm not going to attempt it with one hand because I'm not stupid. But once that's on, we then start on the other tower, I believe. So let's get cracking. So I hope you can see the slopes on. It's exactly the same really sort of build as this one down here. It's the bottom section, as you can see. We'll plate on top, and then I believe we'll just go up. So there it is. Let's get the plates on, and away we go for the last turret. And there you have it. Part 59 is done. And the actual building itself phase of this, whether we add anything later on in the actual build a lot later, I don't know. But in regards to the building of this building now, that is the building complete. Because on the next section, part number 60, it will be the beginnings of the other modular building that comes or connects to it on the side. It's another sort of a castle piece, but like a different shape and whatever, a bit flatter, but we're digressing. Anyway, there you go, it's up. We will have a quick little look at this tower that we've just made for this there. It went up exactly the same as the other one. You can see the little green thing on top. Excuse my plugs in the background. There is our cone shapes for the points, and as I'm just slowly going down, that is it. And as you say, you can see the other tower piece there. So we've done both these in this section. As I say, the building is done. What I'd really like to do now is put it on the rotunda, and then we can rotate it nicely. Let's hope it doesn't fall into a million pieces when I do it. And even worse than that, obviously I've got to move this now from the build table so as I can start work on the next stage. So let's see if we can get it on the rotunda in one piece. So surprise surprise everybody, we've managed to get it onto the rotunda, and if I'm honest and truthful, it's quite solid. It lifted up okay. I think the main thing of worry was the rock that came off before, but in honesty I think even if that rock was to come off, we know how to put it back on now. It just clips on by a 1x2 if I remember rightly, so no worries with that at all. The actual building itself, like I've said, if I can get it back into focus, is very sturdy. I mean, when you look at that, I mean, I'm really going as far back as I can, and when we're going that far back, it's very hard for me to turn the building. Now, do we go anti-clockwise or do we go clockwise? We're going to go clockwise. As you can see, those are the turrets that we've both done. If you want a nice little closer look at the turrets, that was the last part of this section and then the last part of this building. As I say, they're looking really good. Everything's gone together nicely. If you've been following the video or videos, you'll see how these parts all went in nicely, correctly. Bricks absolutely stunning, no problems with them at all. What I'm going to do now is throw a little bit of light on. And there you go. I've just put a bit of light on because I want you to see the detail. I know we're in shadow. Look at that piping and everything else. Look at the rocks. When you think about it, once this actually goes on to the table ready to connect to the big castle later, you're not going to be able to revolve this around like I'm doing now. It's going to be a standalone design, and you know, it's just nice to recap, to have a look at how everything went. You can see the grills there, we have the coloured glass, the coloured windows, we have the floors, you can see the Technic frame, you can see just about the 4 black square pillars that just connect to the top of the rocks. We did have a little problem with them, a couple of things back where they came off, but we managed to get them back on again, no worries, and they're on now and everything seems fine. The connection seems good. As I said earlier, not trying to draw this out too long, the brick quality of this build has been absolutely fantastic, no worries. I think we've had 1 brick missing, if memory serves me correctly, which was something, and I might have even found it later. So as for in regards to bricks and that, absolutely stunning. Well done Hero Toys for the actual quality of brick, absolutely brilliant. The trees, I know other people have struggled with the trees and their pieces just fall apart, they don't stick together. These are absolutely stunning, brilliantly. Little parts you're going to say, oh wow, they do what they're supposed to do. They stick together, you put them on and they don't fall off, which is absolutely great. So as we continue to turn the look of this set, I'm as far away as I can. It is difficult, don't get me wrong, but you're getting the gist. So we have some sort of entrance there. I'll pause there and go back so you can see like that. Why is that? It's not going to let me zoom in, and it is now. It didn't want to. So there is our entrance. You can see more or less all the way through, which is quite nice. We've got our lights. Those were the pieces that were missing while I'm thinking about it now. The little black studs that the little lights go into were supposed to be grey. Now all I've got was the, yes, I've got the little grey studs, but it didn't have the holes in that would allow these to push through and hold on tight. So I didn't have any grey, but I did have a couple of black, and it matched the actual pillar of the lights anyway. So they were the only 2 missing pieces, unless obviously in the set somewhere else I'd use the 2 with holes in. That's quite possible. Again, I'm willing to hold my hands up to that. But it does look quite stunning, doesn't it? I mean, you can imagine when this is all together and we're getting close, because that's what we're going to do. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I will just have a look at the rocks again, just for you and for me really. Like I say, when we look back and we can say, well, we did that. And we're coming back round to the front again. You can see, obviously, that is gonna connect somewhere. Sorry for the glare, as I'm just trying to make sure that we don't miss anything. And you can see again the windows, they have all got the stained glass in, even though you can't really see. I'm going to turn the light off and see what happens. So there more or less is roughly the same shot without, and it's too dark really to see the glass, but you get the gist. We've gone all the way around. It looks good. I think it's worthy of a look from that perspective as well. I think that that always does, you know, and it's hard to get it all in shot. I'm not really tall enough. I'm sort of taking it at a funny angle I know, but you can see the quad inside, the courtyard. You can see where our bits of cliff fit on, which is really nice. Our roof, while I think about it, just before we sum up, we have also got this roof piece here that somehow connects to this. Like I said, the one thing that I will quickly say about this is some of the instructions you have to guess. But don't get me wrong, I know what people are going to say, and they're going to be completely right. It's a mock. You know, the actual designer of this set, who I do know, but I've forgot his name, might even be two people. They've done a brilliant job with this set, don't get me wrong, but there's little bits that just need tweaking where they expect you to know. And don't get me wrong, if you've been building Lego long enough, you work it out and you do it. But there's little bits like this here that, well, we'll see later on in the build whether it goes there, whatever. I'm not going to throw it away. What I mean by that is we may need the parts for other parts later. We will wait and we will see. So there you have, you've had your look at the quad. I'm going back down to the seated position. And that is as far as I can get. So just a little update for everybody, and I just wanted to show you all that we did manage to transfer it from the build desk to the table all in one piece. Everything at the moment is unconnected. The actual two parts of the castle I've split into two, again just with the Technic pins, just so as we can get everything on. We're going to get the other building obviously when it's finished there, and then we will absolutely fit everything together as it should be. I transported to the rotunda, from the rotunda to the desk, moved the pots out the way obviously, and then just lifted. You can hold the Technic frame at this far side and then just try gently to hold. Absolutely the strength was there was no worries about everything falling apart or anything. It just lifted off and I just put it down and then just gently slid it into position. Anyway, with that, the job is a good one, as we say, and I just wanted to show it you all in one piece. So with that, if you've enjoyed this little video, then please give us a thumbs up, hit that like button for me. I hope you've been enjoying this series of videos of this epic extension build one. And now we've got the other building, like I say, that goes with it before we do the big tower closing section for the original castle set. And if you want to follow us next time on part 60, I believe, which will be the start of the new build, and it'll be Technic framework, I'm assuming, then all you have to do is click on that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Anybody who has watched this video, like I say, of any of my videos, I am really grateful. Thank you very much for watching, and I do hope that you will come back next time and see the continuing build of this set. And if you think this is only the epic extension first build of the extensions, the second extension build is 12,500 pieces. So you can see this is only part of what we're doing of the 6,000. We've got our next little building that's going to go next to it, as well as the tower, and that's just going to be 6,600 pieces. So you can imagine how big the 12,000 piecer is going to be. And with that, you know the score, you know the drill. My name's Kev, I am Square Ghost, and I'll see you all on the flip side.